Hey folks, I'm HP's Dr. Pink, and today I'm going to talk about legato tricks on rock ballad, and this is how it sounds, more or less. Yeah, stuff like that. So it's not a really hard legato playing, like big runs over the entire fretboard. This will be a topic of a masterclass, but it's the easy way, or not. It's not easy, but let's say the light version of legato playing, which makes your sound and your soloing much smoother than if you would attack all notes at the same time. So let's first talk about sound settings. You can hear really wide delay set on the beat of the song with 7 repeats, and you might think, okay, this is too strong, but if you play with the sound, you don't really hear them, or just gives you really a wide sound. And in this case, I've used a ping pong delay, which goes from left to right and opposite, like dong dong, like this. But yeah, that only works in a stereo setting. I switched it off now. I've used a British amp with a 4x12 cabinet, and that's more or less. And in this case, no compression. So many people think legato playing works only with a lot of compression on the sound. It makes things a little bit easier, probably, but the real legato thing happens on the fretboard even without any sound. So let's get started on this one here and see the tricks which you can use. Yeah, let's switch to the close view. The scale which I'm using here is the C sharp minor Aeolian scale. This one here. Which is more or less related to the position 4 of the C sharp minor pentatonics. And it's a little bit more extended. I also, when I go up in this position, or even, so if I'm here, in this position 4, 5, 7, go to 9. Up with the pinky and back with middle index, slide down. So this. Try it this way, or if you go in the upper part. So this will be this scale with this fingering. When you go up, slide out with the pinky, come back and slide down with the index. So this is, of course, I'm just pointing out this position here and not other positions, because so more or less, I could play on any position, but we're going to just focus on this position here to point out the tricks which are available. And to be honest, when you play any kind of balladesque stuff, you mostly begin in this position, related to position 4, because somehow here the tone is best, even if you do the bending here in the 7th fret. If you would do it in position 1 of the C sharp minor pentatonic, which would be here, it has more punch and power. You hear the difference? This has more a little bit bite. That's why we always, not say always, but mostly start in position 4. And that's why I'm just pointing out this position. So this is basically a trick about the position number 4. So what I often do, if you play a phrase, let's take an example, like when we do this phrase here, an opening phrase here, 4 6 4 6 on 4. I often do, I open up with opening. This gives it extra kick with makes it more sophisticated. See, instead of you play, it's very cool. Now we continue here. And this is a lick which I often use. Here we this note here is the D sharp. Hammer on, pull off. Now we come to C sharp and slide up back in the same, up to the same note. If you would play it like this, it would not sound the same or like this. And if you want to play it really smooth and really legato, you play. You don't even attack when you play the C sharp here. And remember, when you're on the end note, don't forget to put in the dramatic vibrato, meaning now accelerate and stop on the beat, because we have a lot of delay on the sound. Because it repeats what's going on. Let's see how this works. Now you heard the effect of the strong delay. In the sound you think it gives a really wide sound. Without the sound you think, wow, that's too strong, the delay. So I just went further with the lick, or with the phrase. Same opening. And I do this here. See, yeah, I play here, make a quick hammer. And then I do the same lick again as before. Same system, hammer on, pull off, don't attack. Or if you want to make a difference, this time you attack the string. And especially if you do as I did before. If you have to go further, you attack, but then and all the rest is only slide. There's no attacking at all. See? No attacking. And that really makes the entire thing very smooth. Let's listen to it now. Yeah. Next one. This one is also very cool. When you continue, like you make a bending with vibrato. Oh, by the way, with vibratos, pay attention that it's very wide and very. Don't make it only on one side, make it on both sides. See? Yeah. Now this one what I did. you make the bending here in the 7th fret, release, pull off, and then the entire thing is legato, meaning you don't attack at all, or only the last note of the phrase. And this makes it very smooth and very, you can play out of the impulse, out of the intuition. See? Just roll it up. Let's do this one. And this really works wonderful when you want to highlight something. End up with a pinch harmonic. And here comes the next one, which is also very cool. I like this one. Same system as at the beginning with the open string, and it works fine because the B is a note in the scale of a C sharp minor Aeolian. So what we do now is the open string and 4, 5, 7 slide up in 9. Goes in one movement. We can even do it on the high string here. You could also continue. Works great if you want to create kind of a highlights all the system. Now you work out the scale on one string with the open string. 4, 5, 7, 9, then 5, 7, 9, let's say 10. Then always with 0 at the beginning, then 7, 9, 10, 12. And then we have 9, 10, 12, 14. It's also a very cool method. Very nice method. Works great. And I was just playing these few things which I showed. Of course, that they come that fluent and needs some practice, of course. But the system itself is not so hard to understand. Just try to minimize your pick, the movement of the pick, and focus on things. So if you really want to practice this stuff, start it slow. Listen how it sounds with now I attack the C sharp and now I don't attack it. As a different effect. Do you hear that? Attacking, non-attacking. Or even this lick here, you can attack the last one. Or without attacking. You can do however you want, of course, and always think about you need to stay in balance. Really need to stay in balance. Wherever you're playing, you always stay flexible on the end note, go into wide vibrators. See? You have because the legato playing needs a lot of strength in the fingers, but it at the same time has to be very relaxed, and that's the hard part of it. And when you first do the relax, and then immediately switch into relaxed vibrato. First make it slow. You can do it on any spot of the fretboard, but since we're focusing only on this position here, better just stay here at the moment and reduce it to the points which you really are able to control. Don't try things which you cannot control. So let's put things together now. It's also important to let the music breathe. Don't play all the time. And since you have a lot of delay, you can also work with the ending of the note. Yeah, these were a few ideas how you play legato in such a setting. As I said at the beginning of the tutorial, legato doesn't mean you have to play all this wild Joe Satriani stuff, or what was the other guy's name? El Holsworth. No, El. I'm pretty bad in names. A guy from the 70s was really good in legato playing. He just passed away recently, I think. El Holsworth or something like that. Yeah, and the thing is, legato playing means you don't have to attack each note which you're playing, because this makes a great difference in your expression and the way your soloing comes over. If you want to have it smooth, if you want to have it more harder, then you attack each string. If you want to have it smooth, then you try to switch away with attacking strings and attack as less strings as possible. And here, these were a few tricks how you can do that, and always try to stay relaxed and always control the tone. That's the basic thing, which is important when you play. Even don't play too many notes, but try to control what you're doing. When I play, I often have this picture inside of me when it's like a train on the rails. Like you know that the playing is there's so many things which can go wrong when you play, like attack too hard, you don't have the proper intonation, stuff like this. And it's very just stay relaxed and in balance. Stay in balance with all these techniques which going on. Stay in balance, stay relaxed. And I always have this picture of this train going on the rail. And that's so you always stay, you know what I mean? Or the roller coaster, probably the roller coaster, a better picture. And the roller coaster, like, oh, let's go left, let's go right, up, down, and you always stay in balance. That's the thing which is of most importance when you do stuff like that. If you attack all strings, you still have control because you know what you're doing, but you will start to do things like this, and you can play more out of the intuition, out of the feeling, and then you have to stay in balance, that you don't overdo it and don't do too less, and still control the tone and everything. That's the basic thing which I wanted to talk about today. Dr. Pink. Sounds like a long delay. You have something to say now. Yeah, the backing track is on my Patreon page. If you want to become a Patreon, that would be very cool because it's needed to keep the channel going on. Or the download link is on my download page. You can also make a donation. You can follow me on Facebook, on Instagram, HPCrazy and on Spotify, because concerts will be announced there and new releases as CD releases as well. Yeah, that's more or less what I wanted to say. Stay relaxed, stay legato, and get those phone numbers.